Alright guys, today we want to talk about two strong-willed people who are married together, but they're on the same team. Because that's what you got when you look at Sean and Lanette.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I'm quite sure we got a couple of couples out there who you're wired in a similar way when it comes to just being really strong-willed individuals. But she and I, we will clash occasionally, and usually it's because she is so set on, making sure that a thing is done in a way, and I'm seeing it totally different.
Yeah, so we both have belief as a strength of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And so once we believe in a concept, we are really, really stuck on that.
And we're really passionate about it.
Yeah. And so what really has to be, for lack of a better term, hashed out is not necessarily the belief, but the route to achieving that belief or that goal.
Yeah. So for instance, like when we talk about parenting, like she and I, we share values when it comes to parenting. We believe in disciplining our children. We believe in providing for our children. We believe in challenging our children to have big dreams, big goals. And then she and I, they're in private school, in colleges. We're trying to push them to greatness, and that's something we agree on. But we don't always agree on like how much to invest towards a certain college, which is where we're at right now in this stage of life. When they were younger, we had to choose like at different ages and stages what was going to be that level of correction or discipline, or when to compromise, when to yield. So like talking through those things, we both shared the belief and the value of family and parenting and raising our children in a certain direction, but how to get there, the routes to accomplish it, those things could be really, really, really different.
Yeah, another topic that was big was finances. So we both had great goals. That was never the issue. Yeah. But the route, the timing, the way we did things, it was just different. Yeah. Mainly because we are two completely different people. We have two different cultures. We came from two different backgrounds. And so that had to be worked out.
Yeah. And I think, if I was to, say point number one to being strong-willed people who are on the same team, this is a really long title. But if I was to say point number one, it would be, don't be offended by their strength.
Yeah.
And I think God brought us together. We chose to be together. And that being said, she compliments me and I compliment her when we don't despise the differences that we have with one another. If I'm offended by her consistently, if I'm offended by her strength, it will put me in a position where I will begin to despise what actually is going to help me develop the dreams and the plans and the visions for my life and for our kids and for her life. And so we have to celebrate one another's strengths. Yeah. And I think that that's something that we've managed to do really well. We sucked at it at first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we were so immature in the area of being offended. And so she would get offended, I would get offended, but we've kind of matured past that. We learned to forgive and let stuff go. And since we know that we're both headed toward the same place, we just realize at this point, we ain't trying to kill each other. We're just really passionate about trying to get there. And so we have to hash out, as you said, like how we're going to accomplish that goal.
And I would say point number two would be, don't be so keen on sticking to your method. Let's just say you are right. Like for real. Let's just say you are right. The Lord gave you a vision and you just, bam, I got it. But your spouse is like, but I think we need to do it this way.
Right.
Sometimes it's good. I know this is going to be hard. I just want you to receive it.
Breathe.
Borrow a little bit of my faith.
Breathe.
Sometimes you have to step back and just allow them to do it their way.
Ooh, isn't that something?
And not throw it in their face when it doesn't turn out right. Because remember, you're on the same team.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's a learning lesson for both of you. And it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey.
Yeah. So having said that, I think also this thing, the third thing that I would like to get to is the fact that we're on the same team. Like at all times, she and I were on the same team. We're trying to get to the same places together. And as she said, that journey of getting from point A to point B, from raising a child from birth on up into college age, from planning family dinners to budgeting to traveling the world, whatever those plans are, she and I, we got to be on the same team. And so our goal is to not allow anything to separate us on this team. We have to stay unified. And we keep that real. That's something that we don't allow anything.
Unified front.
We don't allow anything to divide us. And there are a lot of external forces that are trying to divide and pull against your home. The last thing you want is for you two to be helping the relationship to fall apart because you guys aren't fighting to stay unified. And so can a marriage with very strong-willed people work? Absolutely. We're doing it right now. We've been married 21 years. We still getting the job done. We're living our dreams. My wife and I, we've been able to travel the world, man. And I'm saying that
we like one another.
We do most of the times. And so the fact that we get to travel the world is a dream of both of ours. We get to preach and encourage and teach and share and love on folks. We're doing all of that because we build one another up.
Yeah.
Right. And so I celebrate her strengths. She has dreams. She has ambitions. And I'm here to be a servant to help that, manifest.
And in
the
turn,
same sense,
I do the same thing for him.
Yeah.
And sometimes for a while, it was about, okay, whose dream is going to be a little heavier. And so sometimes I needed to pause on mine so that his can flourish. And then vice versa, he needed to pause on his so that mine could.
Yeah. And it's all good, man. Y'all, y'all gonna make it. You're gonna be all right.
Yes, you will.
But if I can challenge you with one thing, I want to go in the reverse. Do you guys see yourself as being on the same team? And will you fight to maintain that? Do you actually, hash out the details? And are you willing to compromise on making sure that getting to the destination isn't more important than the unity that you guys have on the journey? And do you guys celebrate one another's strengths? I think you'll find that if you begin to admire them as your teammate, as opposed to being frustrated with them as if they're your enemy, you'll find yourself able to better appreciate and value them being a great complement to your life, and they'll help you get to your goals a whole lot faster.